And a happy St. Patty's Day to all of you blokes out there, and welcome to the Sunshine State's only true sports talk radio show. We are game on with Bianchi and Kravitz. I'm Bianchi, Mike Bianchi, the little leprechaun sports columnist of the Orlando Sentinel. He is Kravitz, Brandon Kravitz, the hardest working man in sports media. Kravs, are you ready for another great St. Patty's Day?
Are you kidding, Mike? Top of the morning to you. What a fabulous afternoon it is. I'm wishing all of you a fine trip to heaven before the devil knows you did.
What about you, Prodigy of Production? How is your St. Patty's Day going today?
Beer. I can't do an accent.
Neither can Bianchi, don't worry.
He sounded like he was like from Louisiana.
May the roof over your head always be strong. Not sure that's
right. Danny boy. Oh, Danny boy.
All right, and that'll do it for us. We have been canceled by the Irish, and thank you for coming. I appreciate the Irish and the Mexican population for allowing us to bastardize their nationalities just to get drunk and sound like idiots twice a year.
How many holidays have we? I mean, Cinco de Mayo. We've stolen that holiday so we can drink. St. Patty's Day, Mardi Gras. What is that? French, right? We stole their holiday so we could drink. It's unbelievable.
And it is true. All of them devolve into the same thing. It's just different ways and excuses to get drunk. That's all it is. There's not one holiday that gets confiscated by America that does not turn into, hey, what if we just drank all day?
What if we turn your beer green and drank all day? Yes, let's do it. All right, we're coming to you live from Orlando, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, all points in between on the iHeart Radio app. We want to communicate with you, our listeners. We're going to have a St. Patty's Day text question, I hope, Kravitz. Do we have one today?
We sure do.
All right, we'll reveal that later.
Something about the luck of the Irish, Mike.
The pluck of the Irish and the luck of the Irish. All right, you can enter that rage cage if you want. That little red talkback microphone at the top of the page on the iHeart Radio app. Press that microphone, and it's just like you're making a phone call to us, all right? Record a message, send it right into the studio. We'll play the best of those later. We have a great prize to give away today as well. So best talkback, best rage cage entry wins that prize. Also, you can hit us up on the Mills Air text line 50857. What do you say we get to some highlights and headlines? Travis, your Miami Dolphins deconstruction project is now almost officially complete with the trade today of wide receiver Jalen Waddle and a fourth-round pick to the Denver Broncos for a first, a third, and a fourth-round pick. Here's Shefty reporting the news on ESPN.
Well, Sean Payton's been looking for more playmakers on offense this entire time. Jokers, as he likes to call them. And Jalen Waddle is certainly capable of making the kinds of plays that Denver's been looking for. It's a big-time trade that the Broncos have made here to add a big-time playmaker. And like I said, they finally get on the free agent board.
Yeah, the Broncos trying to get better. The Dolphins trying to get worse. That Tua's gone. Tyreek Hill's gone. Jalen Waddle's gone. Just about every other star player signed or drafted by the previous GM, Chris Greer, is gone. Who's at the top of the Dolphins depth chart now? Receiver, is it Tutu Atwell?
I think it is. Yeah.
Tutu Atwell is your star receiver. Kravitz, I knew when this story broke, I could almost see you. I could picture you with this smile on your face and this gleam in your eye, because I know you and your kind, all right? You're actually happy that the Dolphins are rebuilding. You love the fact that they now have 2 first-round draft picks, and you'd rather have draft capital than actual good players.
Yeah, well, they tried the good players thing, and that didn't work out, so let's go the draft capital route. Okay? The Dolphins have 7 picks in the top 100 now. They have 2 picks inside of the first round. Jalen Waddle is a good player, but I think he is a supercharged number 2. He is not a legitimate number 1. I think we saw that play out when Tyreek Hill was off the field. Jalen Waddle didn't quickly become one of the most productive wide receivers in the NFL. In fact, he just kind of delivered what he had been delivering when Hill was on the field. That, to me, is the hallmark of a number 2. And if you can get, and I love Jalen Waddle, so it brings me no joy to besmirch his good name, but I think the Dolphins absolutely stole from a somewhat desperate Denver Broncos team that's just looking for different ways to improve as they continue their climb. But a first-round pick and a third-round pick, they swapped fourths, so that doesn't really count. But a first and a third for Jalen Waddle, 27 years old, highly paid wide receiver, doesn't fit the current timeline, I think is a brilliant move. So as much as it pains me to see Waddle go, I'll miss waddling like a penguin in the living room when he scores touchdowns, which was becoming few and far between these days. I will miss that, but I like shrewd moves. This was a shrewd move by the Dolphins, I approve.
The Orlando Magic ran into a team that was even hotter than they were last night, and it didn't end well. The Magic's 7-game winning streak came to an end with a 124-112 loss last night to the Atlanta Hawks, who have now won 10 in a row. Here's some highlights.
And here comes Johnson back down the floor after a Carter miss. Another three is up and good, and that's going to do it. Nikhil Alexander Walker said, I got you. Alexander Walker wide for 3. Why would you not defend him? I mean, it was as if they just forgot about him. And Nikhil Alexander Walker, who has made 8 threes on 12 tries tonight and has 36 points, just nailed a wide open 3 to put Atlanta back up 15.
We were slowing out the small categories and the details of the game. Again, offensive rebounds, 15 of them, turnovers, 11 for 17 points, and then putting them on the free throw line, 29 times to our 23. So you got to win those possession battles, and we don't get it done. Then it's hard to come back from that first quarter deficit.
That was Magic head coach Jamal Mosley. This was supposed to be the night that the Hawks paid homage to Magic City, the famous strip bar in Atlanta, but because of the pushback, the promotion was canceled. Kravitz, I came up with this line this morning, all right? Even though they canceled strip bar night, Nikhil Alexander Walker still made it rain last night. 41 points. 41 points for Nikhil Alexander Walker. Who was guarding him last night, Kravitz? You?
At least if I was guarding him, I would have put my hand in his face. He wasn't being guarded by anybody last night. I don't know. You can watch his highlights. The guy was taking open 3 after open 3. It just doesn't make any sense. A very frustrating night for the Magic. They played 4 games in the last 6 days, so it's clearly some tired legs. I'm still not entirely convinced that the Atlanta Hawks aren't fraudulent compared to what they're doing. They're still they're a decent team.
You denigrated them yesterday. You denigrated their winning streak yesterday. Then they beat your Magic, and you're still denigrating them.
That was too easy. That was a layup victory for them last night. The Magic didn't have it. I think the Magic would have lost to about 25 teams in the NBA last night, the way that they played. So credit the Hawks. As Jamal Mosley would say, you got to give the Hawks credit. But that was just a bad night. I think that was more indicative of a bad night for the Magic than it was a great night for the Hawks. Nikhil Alexander Walker, career night for him, 41 points, 9 threes. All of that is great. And we still, even though, Mike, as you mentioned, Magic City night was canceled, we still saw a little bit of stripping because the Magic got pantsed last night. How about that? Still saw some folks take their clothes off.
Wow. Venezuela took down my Italian paisanos last night in the World Baseball Classic semifinal. They fell behind 2-0 and then 3 straight 2-out singles in the what inning was that where they made their rally? Anyway, they rallied from a 2-0 deficit and ends up winning the game. Here was the hit that put them ahead.
2-0, Michael Garcia. Third timing play, everybody's safe. Venezuela's taken the lead. They've turned back again.
They've come back again, and now tonight, Venezuela versus Team USA in the championship. It's going to be quite the spectacle tonight. It's down in Miami, which is the city with the highest concentration of Venezuelan natives, and it comes 2.5 months after the United States launched a military strike to capture Venezuela's president and his wife, so there's geopolitical ramifications as well. Kravitz, do you agree or disagree with me? The crowd tonight will be overwhelmingly pro-Venezuelan.
I completely agree. Did you see the fans out there last night? That is a level of passion that will be hard to match. I think it will be 60% Venezuela, 40% the United States of America. And part of that is because the game is being held in Miami, and Miami is such an international city to begin with. If it was somewhere else, maybe that wouldn't be the case, but this can be a good game. Venezuela is absolutely loaded. I mean, the fact that they have Ronald Acuna Jr. in their leadoff spot, they've got Eugenio Suarez, who's one of the best sluggers in the game. They are loaded, so this is not going to be a layup for Team USA.
And those are your highlights and your headlines.
I have a question for all of you, especially you chompers out there. Do you Gator fans properly appreciate what this team has been able to do in basketball these past couple of seasons? We'll dive into that angle right after this.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
This is your Tools Ace Hardware assist of the night. Desmond Bain rolling down the lane like a locomotive. Choo-choo!
Dez rocks it back and forth. Now he'll center it. Here we go. 5 seconds left in the quarter. Bain right back to the same spot. Same result. Then right-handed scooper. Unstoppable at times.
If you're gearing up for game day, Tools Ace is your MVP for grilling greatness. From Big Green Egg to Traeger, they've got everything you need to fire up the flavor. 14 Central Florida locations, including their brand new store in downtown Windermere. Tools Ace is your neighborhood home maintenance expert, the helpful place, every night and your best stop before the game. Go to toolsacehardware.com and go Magic.
Orlando, are you ready for a weekend getaway that's got something for everyone? Then pack your bags and head to Mission Resort and Club in beautiful Howey in the Hills, right there next to Claremont. Not only can you tee off on 2 stunning championship golf courses, El Campeon and Las Colinas, but you can also play pickleball, tennis, or rent a boat at the marina and explore the largest chain of lakes in Florida. They're beautiful, and when the day winds down, relax at the spa or dine at one of their 4 fabulous on-site restaurants. The Sunday Champagne Brunch is a feast you will thoroughly enjoy. Mission Resort is perfect for couples, families, or anyone just looking for a little escape close to home. If you just want to come over for a day of golf, book those tee times, and when you check in at the pro shop, tell them Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog, sent you, and you'll get a free bucket of range balls. For hotel reservations and tee times, go to missionresortandclub.com. That's missionresortandclub.com. Mission Resort, Central Florida's hidden gem, is just waiting for you.
That right lane still blocked on I-4 eastbound before Altamont Drive, State Road 436. We got emergency crews on the roadways. Move over and slow down. That crash is still getting cleared up on Orange Blossom Trail, northbound, just past Michigan Street. The right lane's blocked there. If you're just starting off your commute this afternoon, expect to get caught up in some familiar slowdowns on the major roadways starting to pile up. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
The biggest stars from all genres of music that you love listening to all year long.
Don't miss our 2026 iHeartRadio Music Awards. Watch live on Fox Thursday, March 26th.
Starting at 8 p.m.
And listen on iHeartRadio stations across America and the free iHeart app.
Trashy is a proud partner of the 2026 iHeartRadio Music Awards. This spring, turn your closet clutter into rewards with the Take Back Bag. Learn more and get started at trashy.io.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money. A lot. And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, if you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with auto pay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
It's Matt
and Bowen here from Las Culturistas.
Celebrating 10 years of the podcast, we were joined by a very special guest, Nicole Kidman.
Download and listen on the iHeart Radio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
If you want your windows there in Reese, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Win $25,000 in new impact windows from Reese Windows. Pick up your phone and text the word TRUST right now to 20129. That's TRUST to 20129.
Catch the 96.9 The Game Street Team, powered by Farrah and Farrah, Orlando's personal injury attorneys at events throughout Central Florida, for your chance to win prizes and tickets to upcoming events. For a complete listing of events, go to 969thegame.com/events.
When choosing an engagement ring, the diamond is important, but just as important, the ring itself, the setting, the look. She doesn't want ordinary. She wants something that she's dreamed about her whole life, something that reflects her style and personality. And that's where International Diamond Center comes in. IDC is the only jeweler here that carries all the top bridal designers, rings that other stores aren't even allowed to offer, thousands to choose from. An IDC ring is unlike any other. Artistic, innovative design, handcrafted precision, exceptional detail and quality. And to complete the look, no other jeweler has our selection of dazzling diamonds. Whether you're looking for a scintillating natural diamond or an eye-catching lab-grown diamond, IDC's experts can show you all the options. So there's no compromise. At IDC, we have all the tools to create the ring of her dreams. No compromises, no cut corners, nothing short of perfection. In a world filled with ordinary, for this once-in-a-lifetime moment, choose extraordinary. Choose International Diamond Center. Altamont Springs, Waterford Lakes, and Mall of Millenia.
The world's best bull riders. 1 shot, 8 seconds, no mercy. The rankest bulls in the sport are waiting. This is professional bull riding. Watch it live as we unleash the beast. This weekend from Indianapolis, only on Paramount Plus.
Progressive knows that boat days can come with unexpected problems.
Oh no, I dropped my lip balm in the water. I can't think of anything worse than the looming threat of potentially having chapped lips. It was ginger vanilla too, my favorite flavor.
If a real problem comes along, your boat's protected 24/7 with Progressive, so you can keep worrying about boater problems. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in D.C.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
iHeart's Yacht Rock Radio goes commercial-free every weekend. Enjoy the greatest 70s and 80s smooth, soft rock all weekend. All commercial-free. High tide, low tide, no tide. Yacht Rock Radio works anywhere. Open the free iHeart Radio app, search Yacht Rock, and make it a preset now.
Tonight, the Magic look for the luck of the Irish as they take on the defending world champion Oklahoma City Thunder. Our coverage begins at 6:30 with Magic Tonight. Tip time is 7 p.m. Catch every minute right here on your exclusive home for Orlando Magic basketball. FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the absolutely free iHeart Radio app.
This is Jalen Suggs of the Orlando Magic. They say it pays to listen to Game On. How much are we talking? Now back to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Happy St. Patty's Day to everybody. We're playing some St. Patty's Day music for you today. Kravitz, as you know, I grew up in Gainesville as a Gator fan. I went to the University of Florida. I want to talk about the evolution of the Gator basketball program for a minute. And I just don't think Gator fans of today appreciate what this program has become. And I remember when I was a kid going to Gator basketball games. They played in this old dank, dark gym. It was called Florida Gym. The nickname was Alligator Alley. That was the nickname. It sat like 4,000 fans. It had these pull-out bleachers. It was just a nasty place. Nobody cared about Florida basketball back then. Back in the day, the head basketball coach was also an assistant football coach. And then when I was in college, a guy named Norm Sloan became the basketball coach. He was actually at Florida before in the 1960s, all right? He was the head basketball coach at Florida. Then he left to take the head coaching job at North Carolina State. And he won a national title at North Carolina State with the great David Thompson on his team, and he won a national title. Well, they lured him back to Florida after he won the national title at NC State. He thought he was going to come to Florida and build the program, and they offered him a bunch of money back then. Well, when I was in college, Sloan was the coach, and it drove him crazy that nobody really cared about Florida basketball, particularly the media, all right? Many of the media back then were these long-time SEC sports columnists who all they cared about was football. You know, they worked at newspapers like the Gainesville Sun and the Tuscaloosa News and the Baton Rouge Advocate and newspapers like that, Kravitz. And all they wrote about was football. And Sloan was at a SEC basketball media days one year. And he was asked, what's it going to take for basketball in the SEC to start getting some exposure? And Norman Sloan said, it's going to take a few timely funerals. And he was talking about all the old sports columnists who all they wrote about was football. So when I think back on those days where nobody cared about Gator basketball and Norm Sloan did everything he could to try to get people to care. And then when you look at what it's become today, obviously Billy Donovan, one of the great college basketball coaches of all time, he wins back-to-back national championships. Now Todd Golden has taken over, and he has a chance to win back-to-back national championships. Won it last year as the number one seed this year. Kravitz, do you know how many programs in the last 50 years have won back-to-back national championships? Do you know? Last 50 years, since John Wooden was at UCLA, there have been 3 programs that have won back-to-back national championships.
Florida, UConn, and Duke.
Florida, UConn, and Duke. And Florida has a chance to do it twice this year. Twice.
It has a good chance, by the way, being one of the 4-1 seeds.
Right. It's unbelievable what this Florida basketball program has become, and I just don't think these Johnny-come-lately Gator fans really appreciate it like they should. It's incredible. It's incredible what this this is a basketball program at a football school where most of the fans, they don't really pay attention to the basketball program.
Isn't that the case pretty much everywhere where you have football, a history of football success, and football is bigger for that particular program? You're not wrong in anything that you're saying. And there's not as much of a fever pitch as there should be. If the Gators football team was doing what the Gators basketball team is doing, there would be no questions about how interested is the fan base. We would not have that topic. It would be a dumb one to have. But the Gators are not alone in this. Isn't this the case for any program out there? The ones that you can think of that have fever pitch fan bases in college basketball are either blue bloods or their football team historically sucks. Or they're buried in the Midwest where like Wisconsin fans are just great because what else do you have to do but be a Wisconsin fan?
And Michigan as well. Michigan's a football school.
But Michigan is borderline blue blood in college basketball. I mean, they have one of the most popular teams of all time that was from several decades ago. Florida is still, even though Florida's been playing college basketball for a while, Florida feels new. If we were to say there's the blue bloods and the new bloods, Florida would be in the new bloods category as far as programs that are perennially good, where they're not part of the blue blood past.
No.
I think Michigan is more of a blue blood than a new blood.
Yeah, and there are let's face it, I just told you there's only 4 programs in the last 50 years that have won back-to-back national titles. And of those other 3, UConn, basketball school, Duke, basketball school, and Florida, football school. There's very few actual football schools that have become basketball powerhouses. Can you think of? I mean, Michigan is one, and I mean, can you think of any others?
Yeah, Houston has been great. That's primarily a basketball school. Michigan State is Michigan State's more of a basketball school just because that's where their success has lied. But they have had some success on the football side as well. Ohio State, Ohio State has had some basketball success.
They've had some, but not like Florida. I mean, we're talking Billy Donovan, one of the great college basketball coaches of all time. Now you've got this new guy, Todd Golden, who's 40 years old. And
okay, so let me pitch this back to you because I think there's 2 ways that you can look at this as far as the popularity aspect of the basketball team. You would think that because the football team is down, that the basketball team would be more popular because they're the ones that are actually carrying the stick of success for the Gator athletic program. To me, it feels like back in the day when Tebow was at the height of his popularity, but the basketball program was pretty much starting their run as well, that Gator basketball team with Joakim Noah was more popular than this iteration of the Gators basketball team. Do you think the football success actually propels more popularity for basketball because of the momentum created just simply for Gator athletics? Or does it work the other way?
Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not. I mean, the Florida basketball. I mean, the O'Connell Center. I mean, they sell out their games now. Don't get me wrong. It's not like nobody. It's not like the old days. You know, when I was going to Florida gym and there was nobody there. The basketball atmosphere at Florida is unbelievable. I just don't sense the appreciation. Maybe I'm out to lunch on this. Maybe Gator fans really do appreciate what their basketball.
I don't know, Mike. I don't think you're crazy for asking this question. And there's a difference between filling up a small arena and there being a fever pitch level of excitement. We talk to the sports fans in Central Florida and beyond every single day. I don't get the sense that there's this great passion for Florida basketball out there. Yes, they have fans. Of course they do. But any program that's succeeding is going to have its level of fans. But there's not that thirst for Gator basketball talk in the way that you would expect given their run of success. I don't think you're crazy. Text in, let us know if you think that we are nuts. 50857, or you can hit us up in the Rage Cage. Back with your favorite afternoon show. Game On returns after this.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Well, the good news is if you want to bet on the Florida Gators, it doesn't matter how many fans they have or what the fever pitch is, because there's a fever pitch for sports wagers at all times over on Hard Rock Bet. Sides, totals, first halves, money lines, underdogs, 12s versus 5s, all of that available. It's a chef's kiss for this time of year in college basketball. Nothing quite like the NCAA tournament. If you want to take Florida to the Final Four, plus 125 on that. If you think they can win it all, you can get 6 times your money on a return if they're able to go back-to-back. You can also bet NBA action. That rolls along. Use your 30% profit boost on NBA same-game parlays. So many different ways to fully immerse yourself in the sports that we love over on Hard Rock Bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
This message is for all you couples out there, because when one of you isn't feeling great, energy, performance, or confidence, it affects both of you. At Florida Center for Hormones and Wellness, they've got treatments that help both men and women reconnect. For the guys, there's shockwave therapy and the P-Shot, natural, non-surgical ways to boost performance and blood flow in the bedroom. For women, they offer shockwave therapy and Emcella, therapies that improve comfort, sensitivity, and pelvic strength post-menopause. It's all medical, all natural, and it really works. Dr. John Carrizzella and his team know this isn't just about physical performance. It's about restoring confidence and connection. If you and your partner want to feel like your best selves again, together, start here. Go to hormonesandwellness.com/bulldog and tell them Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog, sent you. That's hormonesandwellness.com/bulldog.
Before smartphones, there was MapQuest. Before GPS, there was MapQuest. Before Google Maps, there was MapQuest. And guess what? MapQuest is back. Now on your phone. No printer required. Download the MapQuest app on the App Store or visit MapQuest.com.
A family office is a team built to handle the three biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm, under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When you're more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 407-204-0300. That's 407-204-0300.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
If you want your windows there in Reese, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Protect your home with factory direct impact windows from Reese Windows and Doors. At Reese, they've been installing affordable, high-quality windows for over 50 years, and most windows are installed in under 8 weeks. Get out your phone, because now is your chance to win them for free. Just text the word TRUST to 20129 to win $25,000 in new windows from Reese Windows and Doors. Text TRUST to 20129 and good luck from Reese Windows and Doors.
Local folks in uniform know that when it comes to jewelry, IDC rolls out the red carpet every time.
I actually bought my wife's wedding and engagement ring from IDC.
Meet Jamison Kenzie, a firefighter and paramedic who took advantage of International Diamond Center's 15% discount for first responders.
It's amazing to get that discount and get something much prettier than I probably could have without it.
At IDC, we love our heroes.
People like myself and all the other first responders, it helps us in our budgets and every day to know that there's a place like IDC that we can go and get incredible value for amazing product.
International Diamond Center, always going out of our way to deliver exceptional value for those milestone moments in everyone's life, and always just a little bit extra for our military and first responders.
My name's Jamison Kinsey, and I'm a firefighter paramedic, and I've been super grateful for everything IDC has done for myself and our department.
International Diamond Center, proud to serve those who serve us. 3 convenient Orlando locations.
Farrah and Farrah, Orlando's accident attorneys, present WJRR's Earth Day Birthday with performances by 3 Days Grace, I Prevail, Sleep Theory, The Funeral Portrait. Get your tickets now and save some dough at WJRR.com. This is in Orlando. Brackets are busting, upsets are brewing, and the road to the College Hoops Championship is heating up. Catch every second at Stadium Club, Orlando's most immersive sports bar with 360-degree game time viewing. Fuel your crew with game day food and drink specials, play in our sports simulators, and jam with our DJ. Plus, parking is free. Don't just watch the tournament, feel the energy, and live the excitement of every bucket. Reserve your seat now on Open Table or at stadiumclub.com.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis?
which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya, guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell's new Luxe Value menu has 10 lavish indulgences, all $3 or less. It's easy to get carried away. Like when you try the new mini taco salad, you might ask, do I need a salad fork? The fork in the bag's fine. Luxe Value menu at participating locations while supplies last. Price and participation vary. Tax extra.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Temperature's a lot cooler today compared to what we felt on Monday now that cold front has gotten through. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist TJ Springer. Temperatures rise to only around 60 degrees this afternoon. Feels like temps even cooler, so a good idea to grab those jackets. Overnight, we'll fall back into the middle 40s around the metro. North and west of town, temperatures fall back into the 30s, so you'll probably want to keep those jackets handy early on Wednesday for that commute. If you are working, we're back into the low 70s for the afternoon under plenty of sunshine. From the Fox 35 Storm Center, I'm meteorologist TJ Springer.
Friday, UCF hits the diamond as they face Big 12 rival TCU. Our coverage begins at 6:30. First pitch is 7 p.m. Catch every exciting minute right here on your home for UCF Sports. FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the absolutely free iHeart Radio app. Welcome back to the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Top of the morning to you, game heads. Thanks for taking the ride with us this afternoon. Yeah.
Kravitz, you know what we need to do today? We need to play a little Irish Rovers music in honor of George O'Leary, the great Irish coach, former coach at UCF. That was his favorite band, the Irish Rovers. I think there's a song about a unicorn that he loved especially well.
Hey, it's the only group I listen to. All that other music is trash, Mike. Hey. You hear people banging on drums. I say, quiet down over there. Head to our Game Heads page on Facebook and join our absolutely free March Madness Bracket Challenge. No strings attached there. Or we have a paid option as well via Better Edge. So if you want to win a little money, if you think that you're really good at this, $5 to enter, and it is a Battle Royale style, which means if you finish with the most points at the end of the bracket, you will win everybody's money. The breakdown of that is really fun, the way that that was put together on Better Edge. Let me give you a quick rundown of how that works. So it's $5 to enter. You get 1 point for every correct pick in round one, and then you also get a plus 1.5 multiplier if you pick an underdog and they win, and that's the case for the first two rounds. After that, you get increasingly more points with the correct picks that you have as each round advances. A really fun way to play into the NCAA tournament. So let's get to our coach quote of the day.
This is Jamal Mosley, head coach of the Orlando Magic, and this is your daily coach quote of the day.
Ah, yes, Mikey, may the road rise to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. I think I sounded like a pirate there at the end. But anyway, today is about having enough. This is an old Irish saying. Should I say it in an Irish accent? I guess I probably should. Leave the table hungry, leave the bed sleepy, leave the bar thirsty. Yeah, there's a pirate in there. I don't know why the pirate keeps coming out. But anyway, leave the table hungry, leave the bed sleepy, leave the bar thirsty. An old recipe for longevity, an old Irish recipe for longevity. I really like that one.
Yes, yeah. Don't. So what's that mean?
That means don't overindulge. Know when you've had enough of whatever it is. Know when you've had enough. And leave some meat on the bone for later, because we're playing the long game here. Don't overindulge yourself. I think that's what it means.
Yeah. Be happy with what you have at that moment. Don't always expect more. I think if you look at it bigger picture, it's like enjoy what you have at that moment and don't keep grasping for more all the time.
Right.
Every now and then you need to stop, smell the coffee, and enjoy what you have.
And also know when to leave the party, both literally and figuratively. If you had fun, know when to say, this was a good night, I'm going to go now, rather than trying to push it further and further.
Have you ever heard, do you know who Sam Kinison is?
Yeah, oh yeah.
The old comedian.
Old angry comedian.
Yeah, the old angry comedian. He used to do this bit where he'd be at a party, all right? And his wife would always want him to leave the party before he wanted to leave the party. And this is what you're talking about, right? And he would always, he would get angry. He goes, this is what you do at a party. You drink too much. You stay too long. That's why they call it a party.
Yet it is the Irish who invented the goodbye without actually saying goodbye to anybody. The old Irish goodbye.
I do that all the time.
You do?
I
do.
Yeah. In fact, when if we're at a company gathering, like we used to, sometimes we go to like a Christmas party or something at the.
Well, I still go to the Christmas party. You don't. You do not.
You were the only one that didn't actually.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'll just sneak out and won't say goodbye to anybody.
Oh, I think people appreciate that. Nobody wants to say bye to everybody.
In Lynch and Taco of JRR, they call me the Midnight Rider when I do that.
Yeah. It's almost like a little game too. Like, can I sneak out without anybody noticing?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like I'll be on my phone, like I've got a phone call. Oh, I have to step outside so I can hear what's going on the phone, and then boom, out.
Hey, man,
we went to the car.
We have so many good options for a text question today. There's one that just popped into my head with Irish goodbyes, which is the best thing that the Irish have provided to the world, and goodbyes would definitely be on the short list.
Potatoes,
bangers and mash, Guinness. So that's one idea. The next,
that's the worst thing. Guinness is the worst thing they provided the world. Jameson, go with that.
Jameson's very good. Then you also we could do best Irish athletes, like Ken Shamrock or something like that. Or we could go with the one that you sent in earlier to me. What is your best or worst St. Patrick's Day memory? But you have to leave it. You have to leave a talk back, and it has to be in an Irish accent.
Yeah, I don't really have one of those though. Do you?
I have a couple. I had years of debauchery, so there are a lot of St. Patrick's Days that I would have great stories for you if I could remember what happened.
Right.
On those days. But I used to work at an Irish bar, and I will never forget one guy got so hammered at the bar, he kept trying to grab at the bartenders, and he was just belligerent. And the owner of the bar, his last name was Murphy, was your stereotypical red-faced Irishman. Former police officer. Guy definitely had some anger issues. He grabbed this guy from the bar, took him outside, and gave him the business. This is the owner of the bar in the middle of, we are slammed at an Irish bar in the middle of St. Patrick's Day, and the owner's out there beating up one of the guys that was at the bar. Yeah. That's one of my favorite memories. Lay the road, meet you where your arse starts.
Here's George O'Leary's song.
They'd run around free when the earth was being born, but the loveliest of them all was the unicorn.
Don't let the door hit your arse on the way out, mate. Text in, let us know what you think. Favorite St. Patrick's Day memories, Irish athletes. It's St. Patrick's Day here on Game On. We'll keep it rolling after this.
Drunkest you've ever been?
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
You know how recruiting works in college sports, right? You don't just grab any player. You find the right fit for your system. That's how Trajan Wealth builds portfolios. They're not bound to one line of products. As an independent firm, they can customize a wealth management plan built around your goals, your timeline, your values. When I met with them, they listened first. Then they educated me on my options and never once tried to sell me something I didn't need. It's truly never too early to plan for retirement, whether it's decades away or just around the corner. They help me build a plan with less guesswork and more peace of mind. I'm a client now, and I could not be happier. If you want the right team managing your financial future, call Trajan Wealth today at 407-204-0300. Tell them Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog, sent you, or visit TrajanWealth.com to schedule your free consultation. That's TRAJAN Wealth.com. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, SEC registered investment advisor. Client, paid advertisement, additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
The Orlando Valkyries are cruising right now, one of the top teams in MLV. If you have not had a chance to catch a Valkyries game live yet, I cannot recommend it enough. Top flight entertainment delivered by top-tier athletes. Volleyball, admittedly, not a game that I grew up watching, but its frenetic pace and intensity is so addicting when you get into it. Also, coming soon, volleyball's biggest stars will be here in Orlando. The second annual MLV All-Star Match is scheduled for Saturday, March 28th. Get your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com and search MLV All-Star Game.
Rangers on the scene of that accident, I-4 eastbound before State Route 436. Looks like the right lane there is still blocked. Also, watch out for a crash. Forest City Road, 434 westbound at Riverside Park Drive, blocking the left shoulder. And it's a slow ride already. I-4 eastbound between 192 and 535. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Katie Wilkins.
This report is sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
The world's best bull riders. One shot, 8 seconds, no mercy. The rankest bulls in the sport are waiting. This is professional bull riding. Watch it live as we unleash the beast. This weekend from Indianapolis, only on Paramount+.
Farah and Farah, Orlando's accident attorneys, present WJRR's Earth Day Birthday with performances by 3 Days Grace. I Prevail, Sleep Theory. Funeral Portrait. EDBD, March 21st at the Central Florida Fairgrounds and Orlando Amp. Get your tickets now and save some dough at WJRR.com.
If you want your windows there in Reese, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Win $25,000 in new impact windows from Reese Windows. Pick up your phone and text the word TRUST right now to 20129. That's TRUST to 20129.
Hey, it's Howie Mandel, and I am inviting you to witness history as me and my Howie Do It gaming team take on Gilly the King and Wallow 267's $1 million gaming right now at globalgamingleague.com. That's globalgamingleague.com. Everybody game.
Your freedom is everything, and the Trey Flynn Law Office is here to preserve it when the stakes are high. Trey is board certified at the state and federal level and is committed to winning and working for you. Trey is a trusted member of the Central Florida community. He's as polished and experienced a lawyer as you will find, and he's got all the stats to back it up. In sports, bad calls change games. In court, they change lives. Call Trey Flynn Law when you need a win in the clutch. 407-557-6350 or visit TreyFlynn.com.
Today, Avianca paints the sky purple as the official international airline partner of Orlando City and Orlando Pride. Because in soccer, you show up, you commit, you give everything, you believe in the extraordinary. And so do we. From Orlando to more than 80 destinations across the Americas and Europe, we carry fans, passion, and the spirit of the beautiful game wherever it goes. Fly with the airline that believes in every moment, every match, and every mile. Visit Avianca.com.
If you want your windows there in Reese, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Protect your home with factory direct impact windows from Reese Windows and Doors. At Reese, they've been installing affordable high quality windows for over 50 years, and most windows are installed in under 8 weeks. Get out your phone because now is your chance to win them for free. Just text the word TRUST to 20129 to win $25,000 in new windows from Reese Windows and Doors. Text TRUST to 20129 and good luck from Reese Windows and Doors.
Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement. Batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Facebook at 96.9 The Game. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Got a hot take? Read the room. Don't let it die in the group chat. Tap the red talkback mic on the iHeartRadio app and join the show.
Love the show, but I disagree with you guys.
It's the fastest way to get your voice on the air. Say it, send it, and hear it on the iHeartRadio app.
The iHeart Podcast Award goes to...
Our 2026 iHeart Podcast Award winners have been announced. Discover the must-listen podcasts that are setting trends and shaping culture, including Podcast of the Year winner, Giggly Squad.
We want to thank the Gigglers. Thank you, iHeart. Thank you to our team. We love you guys so much.
Comedy, crime, news, science, pop culture, and so much more. Listen to all of the winners now when you search Podcast Awards on the free iHeart app.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
The House of Magic is coming to Orlando's sports leader, 96.9 The Game. Catch Oscar Creed, Zach Schroeder, and Josh Elijah as they dive into the world of Orlando Magic basketball. Expect in-depth game analysis, exclusive interviews, on-site coverage, and the latest news on your Orlando Magic. Coming up this Friday, four-time NBA champ Horace Grant joins the program. Catch the House of Magic Friday mornings at 7 on 96.9 The Game or 969thegame.com.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Vegas, when they get an NBA team, and they will, all right? This is essentially a formality, all right? They're going to get a team. So they'll have 4 professional sports teams. NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, and the A's get there. And then NHL. This is a city that's half the size of Orlando. Vegas, like Orlando, is a convention city. It's an entertainment city. It's a vacation city, just like Orlando. If Vegas leaders were running Central Florida, we'd have a Major League Baseball team by now. Wouldn't even be close.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the iHeartRadio app. WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2, Cocoa Beach, Orlando, and iHeartRadio station. Guaranteed human.
This is Anthony Black with the Orlando Magic, and you're locked into Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Welcome back to Game On, lads. Never give a cherries to a pig or advice to a fool. That is the advice I have for you. I really need to give up this accent. Somebody said that your accent sounds Indian, though. I kind of
I do
agree with
not
that.
sound Indian. My Irish accent, it is not Indian. It is not an Indian accent. No.
Oh, my goodness. Someone here on the text line, 50857. By the way, this segment brought to you by our newest partner, Dynamic Garage Doors. They came out, took a look at the house. I'll be getting a new garage. Once I get the HOA to approve this thing, we're going to get this up and running. And I am very excited about that. Nothing improves the curb appeal of your house quite like a new garage. So if your garage door breaks, you don't want a call center. You want people that actually care. Dynamic garage door, strong, reliable, and family owned. Somebody agreeing with your assessment on the success of the Florida Gators here. They said, this is not the first time I've sent you this message. Since the year 2000, there's no college basketball team that has had more success than Florida. Duke is close, but Florida is supreme. Look at the national championships, the Final Fours, Elite Eights, Sweet 16s, and the appearances in the NCAA tournament. The Gators stack up with anybody.
No question. No question. Again, when you win back-to-back national championships under one coach, and then you have another coach and have a chance to win back-to-back national championships, that's incredible, especially at a school like Florida that has had – Florida's had great success in their all-sports programs, haven't had much success in football over the last 15 years. But, yeah, to me, it's just amazing. It's amazing. We should all – everybody in the state of Florida should be very pleased going into the NCAA tournament. We talked about this yesterday. To have 4 teams from the state of Florida, 4 of the bigger teams or the bigger programs, Florida, Miami, UCF, and USF in the field, the big dance field, and Florida State, as I mentioned yesterday, they were this close to getting in. So we should be excited heading into the tournament.
I think we are. Do you get the sense that there's any less excitement for the NCAA tournament in general because of what we saw last year? There was not a single team with a 13 seed or higher next to their name that won a game in the tournament. And that is what, even if it's just 1 or 2 completely unexpected results. The 12 beating the 5, not unexpected. There are plenty of times when you even see in the odds market that the 12 is favored over the 5. That has become par for the course in the NCAA tournament. But last year, not a single 13, 14, 15, or 16 seed beat the team that they went up against. I wonder if that takes away some of the excitement from people going into this year, that perhaps the real Cinderella, the unknowns, the St. Peters, the Fairleigh Dickinsons of the world are dead because of the chasm.
I don't think that's the case at all. I don't think that's the case at all. Maybe last year was just an aberration. I think there's going to be more moving forward. Again, with rosters turning over like they do every single year, I think there's going to be more upsets. I know football's a different sport, but when you have Indiana on the 2-year run they've had in college football, who would have ever thought that would happen?
Yeah, but Indiana's not some mid-major program. You're talking about a P4 school that decided to devote money to their program. Right. I'm talking about college basketball teams I'm talking about programs that you've never heard of, like Queens University is now in the NCAA tournament. No one could even tell you where it is. Those teams are going to have a tougher time winning, as they have starting last year. I think those teams are going to have a tougher time pulling off those upsets because the programs of the past, the Cinderellas that had these seniors that were excellent, that they've been with the program for several years, those guys are discovered quickly and gobbled up by P4 schools. I think it's a lot harder to build a really good basketball program at that level.
You know what? You make perfect sense. I agree with that. You've changed my mind.
All right. That's what I love about working with you, Mike. You and I can yell at each other, but every once in a while, every once in a blue moon, I will make a case so good, you don't even try and battle me on it. We have Earth Day birthday tickets to give away. We have decided we want your best St. Patty's Day story in an Irish accent. If you deliver tier 1 quality on that, you will win Earth Day birthday tickets today from us. We've got more game on the way, a loaded 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock hour. Martine Perlman, the new head coach of Orlando City Soccer, is going to be joining us at 5 o'clock tonight. Make sure that you're tuned in for that. A lot more to get to. I've got a theory I want to run by Mike. Seconds away. We'll be right back.
Local, in your face, and bald. Very bald. Let's send you to the studio for the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Ah, yeah. St. Patrick's Day is not complete until I hear Seamus's theme music. Wonderful. Blarney, Mikey. Blarney. Hit us up on the iHeartRadio Talkback. Text in 50857. Let your voice be heard, game heads. A reminder, we have 2 different brackets that you can go and fill out if you want to compete with us. One of them via ESPN. That's the free one. You can find both on the Gameheads page on Facebook. The other is presented by and delivered by Better Edge. $5 to enter that one, and you will cash out big if you're able to come out in first place. Picking the winner helps, so you don't have to pick the winner in order to win that one, but you do get about 32 extra points if you get the winner. You can go and check that out. I have it pinned to the top of the Facebook page and to the top of my Twitter account at Brandon Kravitz. And you too, by the way, I'm talking to you, Mike, and you, Jaden. You guys have to join these. Well, I want you in both of them, okay?
Aye, Captain.
Even if you deliver 2 different brackets, okay, I'll allow it. Whatever you want to do, but the guys and gals out there want to compete with you as well. Mike, I have a theory that I would like to deliver to you. By the way, loaded 4 o'clock hour as well. Dante Marcatelli in the next segment. Mike Giannetti from SpotTrack.com. We'll talk about this Jalen Waddle trade. And then Martine Perlman, the new interim coach for Orlando City, is going to join us at 5 o'clock. I have a theory that I want to run by you. We were talking yesterday about how it feels like there's this renaissance going on with international sporting events and patriotism, not just for this country but others. I had this thought bubble that I have to spit out and see. I haven't said this out loud. I have to see if this makes sense, so you can either roll with me or shoot it down. It seems like we've seen this rise in international pride, or at least the enjoyment of these country versus country events. The Olympics got great numbers, as they typically do. I mean, the World Cup is coming up. People are pretty fired up about that. That's stateside as well. World Baseball Classic has been crushing it. I think it's more popular than ever. The Four Nations tournament in hockey last year, you had World versus USA in the All-Star game in the NBA, and there's clearly a trend. Like, this is not, and the Olympics and the World Cup have a routine to them, but the popularity of the World Baseball Classic and then 2 separate All-Star games in the NBA and the NHL going with an international feel, there's clearly some sort of trendy vibe going on right now with that. And why is that? Why are people enjoying it to the level that they are? Because, Mike, you would agree that all of these events in their own right are either just as popular as they ever were or are more popular than they've ever been. Would you agree with that sentiment before I get to my point?
I don't know that the Olympics are more popular than they've ever been.
Or maybe more popular than, maybe not ever, but at least more than in recent years. Like, we're going through, even if it's not the best ever, we're going through a surge in popularity for these events.
I think the Olympics were in their heyday back in during the Cold War era when it was us versus the Soviet Union, obviously the Miracle on Ice. But to your point, yes, I think the world in general and this country in particular has become so divisive. We've become so divided, whether it be about issues, political issues, geopolitical issues, immigration, whatever topic you want, it's us versus them. Even within our own country, it's Democrats versus Republicans. So when you have international events, it's easy. It's so easy to be us versus them. There's no complicated standings, or any like the NASCAR playoffs or the golf FedEx Cup where you have to try to figure out what's going on. No, it's us versus them.
I think that's
international. It's our country versus their country, and we know who the good guys are, and we know who the perceived bad guys are, and there's no complication about it. That's why, and we live in a very fractured world. I think we like the lack of complexity of this.
I think that is a huge part of it, and that's always been a huge part of it. But I've noticed a recent surge in the popularity of these events, and I think the reason actually has nothing to do with national pride or the general competitiveness of countries. I think it represents the purity of sports that has been absolutely lost at every level now. The pros never had it because we've always sort of known what these players get paid. And now at the college level, that's what people used to appreciate about college athletics, were kids, student athletes just going out there to compete and play a sport that they love. That's not the case anymore. Where do we get that? Unless you watch the Little League World Series, the only place you're really getting that on a national level is through international sports. Does anybody know what these baseball players are making playing in this tournament? Does anyone know? I mean, I'm sure Mike Giannetti, our guest later in the hour, knows. I don't know. We never talk about it. All we talk about is the play, not the pay. I think that's the difference. I think that's the reason why we're seeing this surge. There's not this obsession with how much is this player worth? How much are they getting paid? If they don't play, how much are they getting paid not to play? All of these different things, the Darren Peterson saga with, well, I don't want to, my hammy. All of that is null and void. The international play that we have seen in this spike in popularity and this trend that every league is going to, how can we make this country versus country? I think it represents the purity of sports that has largely been lost, and it is just winning for the sake of winning, and people appreciate that. That's my theory.
I don't disagree with your assessment. I think there is a lot of credence to what you're saying. I'm certainly not going to blow the theory out of the water, but I do think national pride has something to do with it. Otherwise, why would the American sports fans at every international event be chanting USA, USA? We certainly saw it in the Olympic hockey where we were taking on Canada. And, you know, there's now sort of friction between the United States and Canada when it comes to politics. I think politics and national pride does have.
But hasn't that always been the case? There's always been some geopolitical reason to want your country to win over other countries?
But there were very few sporting events that gave us that opportunity. I think that these sports leagues have finally figured out, hey, maybe this would make people care more. I mean, at the NBA, it took them forever to go to the international format. Same with hockey, for crying out loud. The World Baseball Classic, they finally figured out, hey, this international stuff works. Why haven't they been doing it?
And it works without having to give some sort of bonus. I think it's one of the issues the NBA Cup has, is that we all know part of the incentive of trying to win the NBA Cup is that you get money at the end of it. People are so tired of athletes learning about what they're making, playing for money. We understand that it's a business, but I think it detaches fans from the game. And it's happening at the college level, and this is the only area where we don't talk about money, is international play. We have no idea what these athletes are making.
And it's also the rarity of the events. Less is, we always talk about football, less is more. World Baseball Classic once every 3 years. World Cup once every 4 years. The Nations Cup. What do they do that? Once every 2 years?
The one in NHL, I think that's new. I don't know what their cadence is for that. I have no idea.
Anyway, we don't get tired of it as easily. So I think not having these events every year is a good thing. I've said that all along. So yeah, I love what's going on. I love the purity of the World Baseball Classic where the Venezuelan team is dancing around the dugout, banging on their make-believe drums and dancing to the Venezuelan music. I love that. I think it has a soccer-like atmosphere to it, and I think it's great. I wish the Americans did more of that.
Well, hopefully they do. Tonight is the gold medal final between USA and Venezuela. Up next, the Magic Word with Dante Marchitelli. The Magic are up against it tonight. Second night of a back-to-back against the Oklahoma City Thunder. We'll detail the demoralizing loss from last night. Look ahead at what we have in front of us. Dante Marchitelli joins the show right after this.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
It's the Bulldog, Mike Bianchi, and I have compiled a scouting report for Florida's weather. The heat, it's intense. The humidity, it's relentless. The hurricanes, always on the schedule. If your windows can't handle the competition, it might be time to make a big trade. Acclaim Impact Windows from Renewal by Andersen are engineered for this exact climate, tested in extreme weather conditions. They're built to withstand high velocity impact from flying debris during storms. Their Fibrex material is twice as strong as vinyl, meaning no warping or cracking over time. That's long-term reliability you can count on. They also offer excellent insulation, helping maintain comfortable indoor temperatures while lowering energy bills. And the noise reduction, that's like shutting out the opposing crowd. These windows aren't disposable. They're designed to last and add lasting value to your home. And right now, during the 31-day spring savings event, you can buy 2 replacement windows or doors and get the third 60% off. How good is that? Whether you're in Central Florida, the Gulf Coast, or in Jacksonville, visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. There are restrictions, so you want to do it right now. License number CGC 1527613, Renewal by Andersen, where comfort meets quality.
When you're buying a home, who you work with matters as much as anything else in the process. That's why you need Kevin Krager with LPT Realty on your side. Kevin doesn't just unlock doors. He brings a deep knowledge of market trends, the latest home buyer programs, and cutting-edge real estate technology. But what truly sets him apart is twofold. Kevin's strong background in construction certainly helps, and the understanding of the investment side of home buying. Any expert you talk to says that using an agent who is also an investor is the true cheat code to doing this home buying endeavor in the best possible way. Kevin knows what to look for so that you don't end up in a money pit. From foundation to roofline, he's focused on protecting your investment every step of the way. And even after closing, his service doesn't stop there. Kevin has the resources to help with repairs or any upgrades that you may need. Call Kevin Krager with LPT Realty today. Your future home will thank you.
Crews working on an accident, blocking the right lane I-4 eastbound before 436. Also, left shoulder still remains blocked, Forest City Road westbound at Riverside Park Road. Disabled vehicle blocking the left shoulder I-4 eastbound before 192. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Katie Wilkins.
We are the biggest stars from all genres of music that you love listening to all year long.
Don't miss our 2026 iHeart Radio Music Awards. Watch live on Fox, Thursday, March 26th.
Starting at 8 p.m.
And listen on iHeart radio stations across America and the free iHeart app.
Trashy is the proud partner of the 2026 iHeart Radio Music Awards. This spring, turn your closet clutter into rewards with the Take Back Bag. Learn more and get started at trashy.io.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement. Batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
There's joy in every RV journey. Your journey starts at the Orlando RV Show at Osceola Heritage Park in Kissimmee, Florida's largest multi-dealer RV show. Thursday, March 19th through Sunday the 22nd, with hundreds of RVs on display with lifestyle booths and more. Adults $5, kids under 16 free. Seniors get $1 off Thursday, and military and first responders get $1 off every day. It's the Orlando RV Show, Osceola Heritage Park, Kissimmee.
Hey, it's Howie Mandel, and I am inviting you to witness history as me and my How We Do It gaming team take on Gilly the King and Wallow 267's $1 million gaming right now at globalgamingleague.com. That's globalgamingleague.com. Everybody games.
It's Matt
and Bowen here from Las Culturistas.
Celebrating 10 years of the podcast, we were joined by a very special guest, Nicole Kidman.
Download and listen on the iHeart Radio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Friday, March 20th, the Professional Fighters League brings a world title fight to Spain. The Spaniard, Castelo Von Steenis, returns home to defend his belt against 2025 World Tournament winner and England's own Fabian Edwards. A rematch between champions for the PFL middleweight world title, live Friday, March 20th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on the ESPN app.
Guys, here's the truth. Buying a diamond has never been easy, and now with lab-grown diamonds in the mix, it's even trickier. Are you paying too much? Are you really getting the most for your money? Here's the good news. At International Diamond Center, we cut through the confusion. We give you the straight facts, remove the mystery, and teach you how to make a smart choice, whether you're leaning toward a lab-grown diamond or a timeless natural one. For over 40 years, our mission has stayed the same. Protect the consumer. Reveal the real story behind pricing. Expose the tricks so you don't overpay. We've done it with natural diamonds forever. Now, we're doing the exact same thing with lab-grown. At IDC, you'll find an unmatched selection of both, natural and lab-grown, right here in our showroom. We'll let you compare them side by side, as many as you want, until you're completely confident. And no matter which you choose, you get our direct, no-nonsense pricing every day. No inflated markups, no games to maximize profit. Just exceptional value and honest dealing. Don't guess, don't wonder. Come to the experts you can trust. International Diamond Center, Altamont Springs, Waterford Lakes, and Malta Millennium.
You'll use the radio in your car more than anything else. When buying a new car, make sure the AM/FM is simple, clear, and convenient.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guaranteed details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
We are Orlando Sports Leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
I'm Miles Turner.
And I'm Brianna Stewart.
And our podcast, Game Recognized Game, has never been done before.
Two active players giving you a real look at our lives and what we actually think on and off the court. We talk tanking, or I might get in trouble for this answer, but I think it's definitely happening in the WNBA.
We talk about our mistakes too. They pulled me to the side and was like, hey man, we got a call last night and you can't be rolling around the city like this tonight before games. Open your free iHeartRadio app. Search Game Recognized Game and listen now.
Orlando, are you ready for a weekend getaway that's got something for everyone? Then pack your bags and head to Mission Resort and Club in beautiful Howey in the Hills, right there next to Claremont. Not only can you tee off on two stunning championship golf courses, El Campeon and Las Colinas, but you can also play pickleball, tennis, or rent a boat at the marina and explore the largest chain of lakes in Florida. They're beautiful. And when the day winds down, relax at the spa or dine at one of their 4 fabulous on-site restaurants. The Sunday Champagne Brunch is a feast you will thoroughly enjoy. Mission Resort is perfect for couples, families, or anyone just looking for a little escape close to home. If you just want to come over for a day of golf, book those tee times, and when you check in at the pro shop, tell them Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog, sent you, and you'll get a free bucket of range balls. For hotel reservations and tee times, go to missionresortandclub.com. That's missionresortandclub.com. Mission Resort, Central Florida's hidden gem, is just waiting for you.
Felt like you missed something this morning?
A disgusting habit.
Wake up with just relax. Play 99 the game.
This is Wendell Carter. Welcome to Game On with Bianchi Kravitz.
That's why you put Dell back in the game.
back to you for the magic word.
The magic word today and every week brought to you by IBEW Local 606, proud to serve electrical workers across Central Florida, providing its members a supportive community, training, valuable benefits, and advancement opportunities. Magic pregame tonight gets started at 6:30 p.m. with tip-off at 7 o'clock. Jake Chapman will have you covered on that. His bestie, Dante Marcatelli, Magic broadcaster extraordinaire, joins us live on the air right now to preview the night ahead, as well as, unfortunately, taking a look back at what happened last night. Rough night last night, Dante.
Yeah, a little hiccup there against the Hawks last night, unfortunately, but you've still won 7 of 8 and 13 of your last 18. Second most wins in the NBA here the last month and a half. So playing your best basketball at the right time, but unfortunately, just kind of the way it happened last night was disappointing, and hopefully you can bounce back tonight. Doesn't get any easier. You got the defending champs, the best team in the NBA in your building tonight.
Yeah, very tough. Is there still a part of you, or I guess I should say, was there a part of you going into the last night, looking at the winning streak that Atlanta had put together, thinking that they might be a little phony?
Little bit, and I heard you mention it on the broadcast as well last night. I thought it was valid. You know, they had only beat one team above 500 during that 9-game winning streak. Couple of wins against the Wizards, couple of wins against the Nets, but it seemed like they knew that too, and it seemed like they heard all that noise, and they wanted to prove that they could beat a good team, a playoff team, a team that was above 500, and they came out and looked like it. Unfortunately, they just beat the Magic in every hustle area, offensive rebounds. We couldn't find Nickeil Alexander-Walker the entire night. We've got his cousin, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, in the building here tonight, so it doesn't get any easier with him. But Atlanta, they kind of blew it up, and you thought, okay, you turn of it. They're content to miss the playoffs this year, and it's kind of gone a different direction. They're the hottest team in the NBA. They've won 10 consecutive games, and they're playing terrific basketball. And one of their strengths is just how hard they play, and the Magic just could not match that intensity. But, yeah, I did look at that streak, and I thought, okay, 9 in a row, Magic might be able to take advantage of this, but they had other plans.
From a 9-win-in-a-row team to then an 8-win-in-a-row team tonight on the second night of a back-to-back, I don't expect you to actually know the answer to this, but just in general, this has to be the first time this has happened this season for anyone, that you go up against a team that's won 9 games in a row and then the very next night have to play against a team that's won 8 in a row. How unique is that?
Yeah, don't forget, we played Miami, who had won 7 in a row.
Oh, wow, yeah, that's right.
So tonight is the 5th time in NBA history that 3 consecutive teams with 7 winning streaks better. Think about that. 5th time in NBA history.
Wow.
This is uncharted territory. This has not happened. And then don't forget the Lakers have won 6 in a row. We'll see them on Saturday. So you get Charlotte there on Thursday, so it won't be 5 in a row. But this is very unique, especially this time of year where a team is playing this well and you get this many winning streaks. But this is the time of year after the All-Star break where the cream of the crop rises, so you kind of separate yourself from the rest. So a big opportunity here tonight against the Thunder, the best record in the NBA. They won 8 consecutive games, the number 1 defense in the entire NBA. But you're right, and the Magic had their own 7-game winning streak going into it. So, yeah, a lot of winning this time of year. And the game and a half separates 5 through 9 in the East. Think about that. This is going to be one heck of a race. Sadly, you won 7 in a row, probably going to take another 7-game winning streak to lock up a top 5 spot in the East.
Dante, it wasn't that long ago when people were comparing the Magic and the Thunder as maybe out saying that the Magic still aren't a good young team, but Oklahoma City just exploded. How did they do it? What happened, and why are they so good?
Well, I think the big part was understanding the talent, the potential of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I don't think that they ever envisioned he'd be this good, but trying to find a way to get him. So you get him and 7 first-round draft picks. Think about that, Mike. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the MVP last year, the second leading scorer this year, and 7 first-round draft picks. So you can just float first-rounders at whatever player you want. You pick up Jared McCain at the trade deadline. I think that was about as underrated a move at the deadline as there was. So they have just a ton of picks over the next couple of years. They could get Utah's first-round pick if Utah falls out of the top 8. Think about that. So they've just loaded up on picks, and it was brutal. They were absolutely brutal to watch. It was abysmal. It was embarrassing what Sam Presti did to that organization for 3 years, but they just completely bottomed out. Zero chance of winning. They just sat everybody all the time, and it was, you wouldn't be able to do that now moving forward. They're the reason that we're changing these rules because of what they did and how bad they were and how they just stockpiled picks. But it takes two to tango. The Clippers didn't have to give them 7 first-round picks. He didn't have to play ball. But in addition to that, Sam Presti is about as good as a good talent evaluator as there is in our league, and just continues to find gem after gem in the draft. So they've rebuilt through the draft. They added timely free agents. They've got defense. They can shoot threes. So I think between all of that, I think that's how they're sitting where they are, and they're stacked. They're stacked for years to come.
One of Presti's one of his top assistants is Rob Hennigan, the former GM of the Magic. Has anybody heard from him since he left Orlando? I've done Google searches, like stories about him.
I haven't seen him. I haven't heard from him. How long ago was that? I mean, you're talking about coming up on 10 years, Mike, and I've been to Oklahoma City every trip in the last 9 years, and I haven't laid eyes on him. So I'm not sure what he's up to. I know he's there. I know he keeps getting promotions and unique titles. But I can't say I personally have not laid eyes on him since he left Orlando.
Wow, unbelievable.
We're talking to Dante Marchitelli, Magic broadcaster extraordinaire. There's not a lot of a focus on these divisions, but can you explain to us, outside of the pride of it all, what it would mean for the Magic to win the Southeast? Are there seeding benefits that exist there?
Oh, absolutely. Well, you're sitting 5th right now because you're winning the division. You're tied with Toronto, but that tiebreaker is going to go to the division winner. So let's play it out and say somehow you find a way to win one more game in Cleveland. Don't forget, you're only 2 games back in the loss column of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and you play them once. So if you can find a way to force yourself into a tie at the end of the season, you tie that series, you're going to have the leg up because you won the division. And Detroit is going to be the division winner in that division with Cleveland. So Cleveland has no chance to win the division. You can win your division, and that's going to be a tiebreaker. It goes head-to-head first, and then it goes to who has the who's won their division. So that's remember when we played Cleveland a couple of years ago. That's what it came down to. It was a 1 game separated them. Had we been able to win one more game and force a tie, we would have had the tiebreaker because we won the division 2 years ago as well. So, yeah, winning a division doesn't seem to mean like as much as it used to. If you won the division, that would guarantee you a top 3 or 4 spot in the East. So those days are gone. But still, if you finish tied, and whoever you're tied with, if you have won the season series or if you're tied in that series and you're a division winner, that's going to give you the leg up. So that could be huge here down the stretch. If you finish tied with Atlanta or Miami, but you find a way to win the division through tiebreakers, that's going to be huge.
I think
especially this year. I don't remember it being this tight. You're battling your own division here to try to avoid the play-in.
Well, I mean, it's the Southeast Invitational is what they're going to change the name of the play-in to, the way that this is looking. Dante Marchitelli, Magic broadcaster. You can catch him on FanDuel Sports Network starting tonight at 6:30 p.m. Thanks so much, Dante.
I appreciate it, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Up next, several waves into NFL free agency. We've got a massive Jalen Waddle trade to talk about. We'll get the latest news and info from the man who we all depend on this time of year, Mike Giannetti from SpotTrack.com, on the way next.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Easiest decision I've ever made is turning to Mills Air when I am in need of HVAC services. And if you own a home like I do, that needs to be at the top of your priority list. It goes roof, AC. If you don't have those 2 things, you are screwed in Central Florida and beyond. Mills Air, family owned and operated. They have provided affordable, family-friendly expert services across Central Florida dating back to 1992. You don't hang around in a town like this without being credible and reliable and high quality the way that they have been in all of those years. So if your system is acting weird or you just want to get ahead of things, give Leon and Mills Air a call. Again, easiest decision that you will ever make. Tell them that Brandon Kravitz from Game On sent you by. and we greatly appreciate it. 407-277-1159 and online at millsair.com.
This is the Bulldog, Mike Bianchi. Dynasties are built over time through hard work, and so are car dealerships. That's why I want to tell you about Don Mealy Chevrolet out in Claremont. For more than 50 years, this family-owned dealership has served Central Florida. Don built it. His son Jay runs it today, hands-on and accessible. He even gives customers his own personal email address. They also invest in the next generation, proudly supporting local youth sports organizations throughout Central Florida. And right now, it's Truck Month at Don Mealy Chevy. Get this, you can save up to $10,000 on a new Silverado RST. We're talking that powerful 3-liter diesel engine that's built to work as hard as you do. Looking for the ultimate family ride? Go electric in a new Chevy Equinox EV and save over $15,000. Plus, you'll never pay for a gallon of gas again. How good is that? Visit Don Mealy Chevrolet in Claremont today or shop online at donmealychevy.com. Chevy, together, let's drive.
Boxing fans, Matchroom brings live championship boxing back to Carib Royale, Orlando, on Saturday, March 21st, as Carlos Ademes defends his WBC World Middleweight title against Austin Ammo Williams. Plus, an exciting undercard featuring undefeated Orlando native and Olympic bronze medal winner Omari Jones, and a class of rising prospects as Puerto Rico's Jacob Gomez goes up against Orlando's own Corey Marksman. This is going to be one incredible night of live boxing. Tickets available at Ticketmaster or at CaribRoyale.com/boxing.
Grab your gear, Central Florida. It's Truck Month at Don Mealy Chevrolet. Right now, you can save up to $10,000 on a new Silverado RST. We're talking that powerful 3-liter diesel engine that's built to work as hard as you do. Looking for the ultimate family ride? Go electric in a new Chevy Equinox EV and save over $15,000. Plus, you'll never pay for a gallon of gas again. Seriously. Visit Don Mealy Chevrolet in Claremont today or shop online at donmealychevy.com. Chevy, together, let's drive.
It's here. At T-Mobile, get the new Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra with Galaxy AI. Okay, we don't need the trumpets. We know it's awesome. You even get a 5-year price guarantee. And the best benefits in wireless. A kazoo? Get the new Galaxy S26 Ultra. Really? Nothing? Did I mention at T-Mobile there's no trade-in needed?
Guarantee excludes taxes and fees. Applies to monthly price of on-network talk, text, and 5G data on the Beyond plan. Benefits vary by plan. May require activation and are based on included perks. Exclusions and details at T-Mobile.com.
If you want your Windows, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Protect your home with Factory Direct Impact Windows from Reese Windows and Doors. At Reese, they've been installing affordable, high-quality windows for over 50 years, and most windows are installed in under 8 weeks. Get out your phone because now is your chance to win them for free. Just text the word TRUST to 20129 to win $25,000 in new windows from Reese Windows and Doors. Text TRUST to 20129 and good luck from Reese Windows and Doors.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management.
That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike and his team would like to help you out. They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan.
If you are 55 or over and have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, the Talon Comprehensive Financial Plan is complimentary. And when that plan's in hand, you will also receive the gift of a will and trust courtesy of Talon Wealth.
The folks at Talon Wealth are not attorneys, but they work with a group of attorneys who'll provide a will and trust at no charge to you. Reach out at 813-755-5000. 813-755-5000. One more time, that's 813-755-5000. And be sure and tell them that Clay and Buck sent you.
Advisory services offered through Talon Private Wealth, LLC, a SEC registered investment advisor. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
Orlando, professional spring football is back. Sunday, March 29th, 8 p.m. The Orlando Storm make landfall at Inter & Co Stadium for their historic home opener. This is more than a game. It's the beginning of Storm history. Get your tickets now at UFLstorm.com and be there when the storm strikes.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya, guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
Get the fastest local alerts and accurate 24/7 forecasts with WeatherBug. It's easy to use and provides real-time customizable alerts so the weather never takes you by surprise. Plan every day with confidence. Download the free WeatherBug app from the App Store now.
March Madness begins tonight in Dayton with first four showdowns between UMBC and Howard and Texas and NC State. As for Florida, they're awaiting their first-round NCAA tournament opponent. The South Region's top seed, they'll play either Lehigh or Prairie View. It'll be Friday night in Tampa. And the Magic try to get back into the win column tonight. They'll host world champion Oklahoma City. Orlando's 7-game win streak would snap Monday. I'm Scott Davidson.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by iHeartAdvertising.com. Run a business and not thinking about radio? Think again. Because people are listening to radio more today than they did 20 years ago. And only iHeartRadio connects with more Americans than TV, digital, even social. Learn how radio can help your business. Call 844-844-iHeart.
This is the Beat of Sports.
The NBA, their media deal is incredible what they got. It's unbelievable the amount of money that they got. I believe their product is incredibly overexposed. To keep up with, well, what night? Is it Sunday on NBC? They have a game on Tuesday. Do I get both games? What's on this streaming? Is the Magic game tonight's on Peacock? Is it on Amazon? I think the NBA, for years now, has been overexposed. And by the way, the numbers back it up. The, quote, national games, those numbers, they're not good at all. Like Saturday night to see the Warriors play for the 38th time against the Nuggets. Those games aren't drawing big numbers, but the deal's signed. But I think the NBA's overexposed. It's no big deal to see Jokic play or SGA play because they're on all the time. But in the NFL, with a fixed number of games, I don't think you're close to anything of overexposure.
The Beat of Sports with Mark Daniels. Weekday mornings following the bridge at 9:30 on FM 96.9 The Game. Orlando's sports leader. Hometown sports station. This is 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the free iHeart Radio app. He's the Sultan of Salary, our very own sports financial guru. When athletes get paid, he's our go-to guy. He's Mike Giannetti from SpotTrack.com.
Mike Giannetti, our go-to sports financial analyst, the best in the business. You can find his work over on SpotTrack.com. Check out the SpotTrack podcast weekly for full breakdowns of everything that we discuss and more. Mike, we are through. I always get confused as to what wave of free agency we're in. Do you have that well figured out right now, or is it wave 3? Are we in wave 4? Where are we at?
We're in the wave where people are second-guessing some of their decisions.
That sounds like wave 4. That's a good wave 4.
All right, let's make it 4. We'll call it 4.
All right, let's talk about a big-time trade today. Jalen Waddle sent to the Broncos, and here I was thinking that the Dolphins weren't completely tanking after acquiring Malik Willis. What does this move signify to you before we get to the financial side of it?
Just the final step here. That new regime is completely taking over to the nth degree, and they want no ramifications, no callbacks to the Tua regime, the Tua generation, and they've succeeded. This is a full tear-off like we've never seen. The numbers are going to be completely whopper for 2026, and then 2027 is basically let's go. So super fun times if you can kind of tolerate the next 12 months in Miami.
As far as the dead cap hit and all of that, does Miami now relinquish a lot of the financial burden that Jalen Waddle would cause? Because this was not a cheap wide receiver. Do the Broncos take on all of that, or are the Dolphins still left with some of it?
Yeah, so it's a $26 million dead cap hit for Jalen Waddle all in 2026, which is about almost $12 million lost for the Dolphins. So this actually puts them down into the worst cap space in football right now, which is crazy because usually when people release players and trade players and rip Band-Aids off, it actually frees them up and gets them in a better spot. They are worsening their position in 2026 to the effect of they're going to have over 55% of their cap be dead cap in 2026. I've never seen a number like that. I've never seen it close to 50%. But it's March 17th. We've had 6 official days of this league year. And that is the number that is 100% going to hit for the Miami Dolphins. It's pretty astronomical stuff.
So before we move off of the Waddle stuff completely, then there has to be a financial benefit to this, though? Is that just after this year because he's still on the books for another couple seasons?
Yeah, they move his entire cash contract over in terms of what was remaining. I believe it was like 3 years and 60-some million, 40-some million of that guaranteed. So they're certainly cash thrifty here in terms of what they're moving off of. And then they save basically everything in 2027, everything in 2028. So like I said, it is bite it off all right now. And then next year could be fun if they hit on a couple of draft picks this year, and certainly if Malik Willis can play football.
Mike, what was your take? I'm still astounded by the fiasco of the Max Crosby situation with the Ravens backing out on that mega trade. What was the reason for that? Were there any financial reasons, or were they truly worried about his health? Did they just get cold feet? What?
Probably all of the above, but I think the latter is exactly what happened. They walked into a scenario with Trey Hendrickson that was just a cleaner break for them. That just cost them cash, not premium draft picks. There's, I think, injury histories going on with both here, walking into 2026. So I don't think you can kind of pin one against the other too much. But this is the risk you run when nothing's official, when you're doing this kind of behind the scenes in an unofficial moratorium period. And we have seen this in the past, but certainly not to this degree. This was a blockbuster that will linger now for really into the season.
Also, I don't know how much you follow this, but I'm sure it has to do with sports finances. But the NBA is talking about expanding to Seattle, obviously, and what was the other city, Kravitz?
Las Vegas.
Yeah, Seattle and Las Vegas. Vegas would have 4 professional sports teams there. Yeah. I'm just curious. We're in Orlando, and that's twice as big as Vegas. Why is Vegas getting all of these sports franchises? And secondly, they're talking about $7 to $10 billion for an expansion NBA franchise. Is that the going rate now?
No question. I mean, when the Celtics sold for about that price not too long ago here, that becomes the buy-in price for any of these massive cities. And, it's just a negotiating game, right? I mean, cities it's kind of like the World Cup stuff and, with FIFA, how they handle their business, the Olympics, how they handle their business. It's basically cities going out there and promoting themselves to kind of pull in enough. I think there's still enough tourism in Vegas to attract a successful sports league in all these major markets. We're going to see how it works with baseball here in a couple of years, but I think the feedback's been generally positive. I don't know if it's fully sustainable, but they have got to be sending gobs of money to these leagues, certainly from the gambling side of things, to attract it. And by the way, we are fully prepared at Spot Track. We have an expansion draft tool that you can go and actually lock down players and bring over players to these new franchises as they become official. So yeah, we're on it, and it's actually a really awesome, fun way to kind of get involved with this stuff.
I'd say on it and then some. Go and check that out at SpotTrack.com. They also have a trade machine if you want to play around with trades as well. Is that for every league? Also, is that for NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, or is that just NBA?
Trades for all those leagues. We've got expansion tools for the NBA and the WNBA, which is expanding rapidly as well.
Unbelievable. Real quick on the NFL front, again, Justin Fields was sent to the Kansas City Chiefs. How much of that fat salary that the Jets signed him for last year is on this, and is this an indication that Mahomes might not be ready for 2026?
I definitely think it's insurance, if not, an active acknowledgement that they're not going to have him ready by week 1. They're only taking him on for $3 million. So really it's just this Geno Smith situation in New York all over again. That's standard, even kind of below backup quarterback pay when you think about it that way. So I like the move for Kansas City. I like the move for Fields. Fields actually gets an extra $1 million out of this somehow as part of the trade that the Jets will be paying. So I think it's kind of win-win for everybody, and maybe Fields is the guy we're looking at as that quick little Malik Willis of 2026 going into 2027, but we've been bitten before.
Yes, for sure. Last thing, I was talking earlier in the hour about some of the purity behind these international events that we're seeing. World Cup and the Olympics have been popular forever. It feels like the World Baseball Classic is surging in popularity right now. We've seen the Four Nations in hockey. And part of the reason, in my opinion, that we've seen this spike in popularity is that we're not obsessed over what these guys are getting paid. And so there's a purity to it that is lost even at the college level, because we know what all of those athletes are now getting paid in football and in basketball. With that said, I'm sure that if anybody knows, it's you. What is the pay for the World Baseball Classic? Because I doubt that these guys are doing it for free. So what is the financial structure of this, and is that information that you're made privy to?
It's not really out there, is it? You know, I don't know that we have a big bonus if they win the World Baseball Classic. I mean, there's certainly prize money. I think the pool is about $15 million, or it was a couple of years ago. Maybe that skyrocketed a little bit. So that's going to trickle down. I don't think there's an actual formulaic structure in place. But my guess, and I'm just throwing this at you, is that the winner will be taking home about $1 million. That would be per player. So, and by the way, I'd push back a little bit. We don't have the highest paid players in any of these sports put all together in one spot, actually giving a darn about the game. That is what this is giving us, right? We don't have all-star games that matter. This is a collection of the best and to some degree the highly paid players coming together for every couple of seasons. We don't get this anymore. This used to be every single year. So I think it's a collection of all of it, and yeah, certainly they're getting a little money on the side.
Yeah, and it is like the one event where we're not concerned about amount of money. It's just for the pride and for the competitiveness of it. There's a purity to that. Mike Giannetti, sports financial analyst, the best in the game. Go find his work over at spottrack.com and on Twitter at SPOTRAC. We appreciate you, Mike.
Okay.
We have Martine Perlman joining us at the top of the hour. Orlando City interim manager will be on the show live. We're going to hear from you guys coming up in just a moment. 50857 and in the Rage Cage. You can hop in there. We'll back with that next.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
It's Bianchi, the Bulldog. We all know in sports every coach has a playbook, but they don't run the same play for every situation. Trajan Wealth understands no two retirement plans are the same either. They offer guidance on earning higher potential returns, managing risks, addressing tax concerns, and building income plans designed to meet your goals. When I sat down with them, I finally stopped wondering, am I missing something? Now I've got answers and a clear path forward. Choosing the right financial advisor is one of the best investments you can make. Build your financial playbook with a team that's always faithful to your future. Call Trajan Wealth today at 407-204-0300. Tell them Mike Bianchi sent you, or visit TrajanWealth.com to schedule your free consultation. That's TRAJAN Wealth.com. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, SEC registered investment advisor, client paid advertisement, additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
All right, y'all, there is a new axe throwing bar in Lake Buena Vista. We did a remote broadcast from there a few weeks ago. It's Bananas Axe Cabana. Stuart, the gracious owner, would like to offer 25% off axe throwing sessions at Bananas Axe Cabana to all of you wild and crazy game heads. Just use the promo code GameHeads25 on any 1 or 2 hour booking and get the discount. It's 25% off just by using the promo code GameHeads25. You can bring as many friends as you like, even if they aren't game heads, which you should then convince them to be one. Bananas Axe Cabana in Lake Buena Vista, right in the heart of the entertainment capital of Orlando. Once you hit that first bullseye, you're hooked at Bananas Axe Cabana.
Expect delays. Traveling on Greenway southbound, there's a crash at Airport Boulevard, exit 50. That's blocking the left lane. Tapping the brakes, I-4 westbound between 192 and 429. And another crash, I-4 westbound near Maitland Boulevard. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Katie Wilkins.
This report is sponsored by iHeartAdvertising.com.
Run a business and not thinking about radio? Think again, because people are listening to radio more today than they did 20 years ago. And only iHeartRadio connects with more Americans than TV, digital, even social. Learn how radio can help your business at iHeartAdvertising.com.
Hey, it's Howie Mandel, and I am inviting you to witness history as me and my Howie Do It gaming team take on Gilly the King and Wallow 267's $1 million gaming in an epic global gaming league video game showdown. 4 rounds, multiple games, 1 winner, plus a halftime performance by multi-platinum artist Travie McCoy. Watch all the action and see who wins and advances to the championship match against Neo right now at globalgamingleague.com. That's globalgamingleague.com. Everybody games.
It's Matt
and Bowen here from Las Culturistas.
Celebrating 10 years of the podcast, we were joined by a very special guest, Nicole Kidman.
Download and listen on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Accidents don't just happen between the hours of 9 to 5. That's why we make ourselves available to talk with you 24/7. For a Farrah fight, day or night, you know who to call. Farrah and Farrah. Orlando.
Orlando Magic basketball lives here on 96.9 The Game, and your game day Magic coverage is powered by IBEW Local 606. Proud to serve electrical workers across Central Florida, providing its members with a supportive community, training, valuable benefits, and advancement opportunities. IBEW Local 606 has been powering and serving Central Florida for over 75 years, and they are the dream team for electrical workers across this area. For more info, head to IBEWLocal606.org and go Magic. Miss us while we're gone? Download the Game On podcast on iHeartRadio and take us with you wherever and whenever you want. It's all of Bianchi and I's wildest takes on demand on the daily. And while you're at it, make us your #1 preset as well. Just search Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz, the state of Florida's premier sports talk radio show. Now back to these ads.
The world's best bull riders. 1 shot, 8 seconds, no mercy. The rankest bulls in the sport are waiting. This is professional bull riding. Watch it live as we unleash the beast. This weekend from Indianapolis, only on Paramount Plus.
Get the fastest local alerts and accurate 24/7 forecasts with WeatherBug. It's easy to use and provides real-time customizable alerts so the weather never takes you by surprise. Plan every day with confidence. Download the free WeatherBug app from the App Store now.
Follow The Game on Facebook at 96.9 The Game. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Guys, we live in Central Florida. It is so important that your AC works perfectly every single time. My house was a sweatbox before I got on the horn with Mills Air. That's why I strongly suggest you call Mills Air. In business since 1992, that's over 30 years of experience, and Mills Air is a Carrier Factory authorized dealer, which means they can get you up to $1,275 in rebates towards a brand new Carrier unit. Call today to schedule your appointment. That's 407-277-1159, 407-277-1159, or find them online at millsair.com.
Got a thought?
Just wanted to chime in.
No hold times here.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Tap the red talk back mic on the iHeartRadio app and send us a voice note instantly.
I do agree with that, yes.
A stress-free way to join the convo on your own time. Try it now on the free iHeartRadio app.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
I know nothing about glizzies. I don't know any Cardi B songs. I don't know, what's the guy singing the national anthem?
Charlie Puth.
Charlie Puth. Never heard of him.
Cardi B is very funny. Very, she's very funny. You should give her a follow on your TikTok.
What? What are you talking about? I don't even know how to get on TikTok. Can you get on your laptop? Because I've tried. I've tried to get on the TikTok machine on my laptop, and it won't let me. It says I have to be on my phone. I don't want to be on my phone. I want to be on my laptop.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the iHeart Radio app. WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2, Cocoa Beach, Orlando, and iHeart Radio station. Guaranteed human. Welcome back to the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Ahoy, mateys. Welcome back to our Irish edition of Game On today. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Snatch up some Guinness, maybe a shepherd's pie while you're at it, matey.
Oh, I love shepherd's pie.
That's Irish?
Ow!
Shepherd's pie is Irish, absolutely.
Oh.
Shepherd's pie, bangers and mash. What other? They did the eggs one. Scotch eggs, although that might be Scottish now that I think about it. But
when I was in elementary school, Melrose Elementary, they used to make the best shepherd's pie. You know, it was like meatloaf with like mashed potatoes on top of it. Isn't that shepherd's pie? Kind of.
Yeah, ground beef with mashed potatoes, and then you throw it in the oven. You kind of crisp the top of the mashed potatoes. Some peas in there. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something.
I like it.
Cheat code is when you get leftovers, just toss a bunch of A1 steak sauce on there. Oh, my God, it's good. Someone said on the text line, 50857 is how you can reach us. What do you call an Irishman who is too drunk to find his way into his house? Patio furniture. That's pretty funny. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you. Mike, did you see the story about the Iranian team wants to play their World Cup match in Mexico because they don't feel safe in America? Obviously, we are at war right now. And
they don't feel safe because President Trump told them they wouldn't be safe.
That was what I was gonna get at. I cannot believe that those words were uttered. I can't guarantee their safety. What? They're part of the soccer team. We're not at war with the soccer team. What is
I
this?
agree.
That is insanity. Also on the text line, somebody said, Bianchi, I see your golf clubs in the background. Could you land one on the island green at Ponte Vedra?
I've actually played the TPC back when I was working in Jacksonville. They'd let the media play the course, and I did hit one on the island green.
Ooh, what a feeling that would be.
Of course, it was my third shot on the hole.
Oh, still. The other two at least they landed in the water, I presume.
Yes, they landed in the water. Well, one of them just never even came close to the green in the water. One of them bounced off the green, and then the third one I hit it, put a little backspin on, a little bite.
Yeah, a little too much mustard.
Yeah, no, that's the one that hit, bit. Rolled back toward. I didn't roll back toward the cup, but it stayed on the green.
Let's head to the Rage Cage, the iHeart Radio talk back, and hear from Richie.
Hello, laddies. This is Richie here. In my St. Patrick's Day story, it goes like this. I was at a party, and then what happened? I saw a leprechaun, and the leprechaun had a pot of gold, and the gold was a bunch of chocolates. And what he did, he was drunk, and he started throwing the chocolates to everybody. What a crazy day.
That's not a real story. And what in the world is that accent?
His accent sounded Indian. Somebody said my accent.
Yours does too. Why is everyone's accent Irish accent?
His accent was better than both of yours.
That sounded like the leprechauns from the movie Leprechaun, is what that sounded like. I'm going to have nightmares about that. Martine Perelman joining us at the top of the hour. Don't go anywhere.
to the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
The segment brought to you by Trey Flynn Law. Your free case evaluation, just a click or a phone call away. Go to TreyFlynn.com or dial 407-557-6350. Arrested today? Call Trey. Orlando City has gone through some big-time changes early on this season. Oscar Pareja let go by the team. A new era of Lions football has taken the field this past weekend. The interim manager of the squad, Martine Perelman, joins us on the hotline right now. Martine, welcome to the show and congrats on your first win. Martine. We appear to have lost him. Yeah, well, we can.
You want me to do my Irish accent?
We definitely don't want that. I don't think that that's the reason that he hasn't popped on. Yeah, we'll try and reconnect with Martine. I guess we're having some sort of phone issue, Mike. But this is it's sort of a weird spot, and it's the thing that I'm definitely going to ask about first and foremost. And whenever we're able to connect with him, is the weird position of being on a coaching staff, and I'm sure that you look up to, perhaps even idolize the figure that's at the top, that's managing the show, and Oscar Pareja. And when you see that person let go, that hurts. When you find out that you're the guy that's stepping into his place, and I'm sure that that's his goal since he's in the coaching profession.
Right.
A lot of mixed emotions there, I would imagine.
Plus, the timing of it was so surprising and weird. Remember we were on the air at the viewing party for the Champions League games, and that's when we found. Remember, first we found out that Kay Rollins was retiring, and then we were like, "Oh, Kay Rollins retiring! Wow, what a story that is!" And then, like minutes later, we found out that Oscar Pareja was stepping down as a coach. Wasn't that strange to you?
Yeah, it was. Do you think that was? I found it more coincidental than anything else. We just happened to get this wave of news, and then to add to the irony of it, we were there to focus on a soccer match that has nothing to do with MLS, but it was just such a soccer-filled show because of all the news that was breaking down live in the moment. But I found it more coincidental. Did you try to connect some dots there?
No, I just think like I don't. If they would have known Oscar Pareja was going to step down that day, I think they would have told Kay Rollins, "Hey, maybe it would be best if you announced your retirement, in a few days."
Right. So it's almost like her retirement was buried a little bit because the coach firing is always going to usurp anything.
Yeah, it was buried a lot. It wasn't just buried a little bit; it was buried a lot. Because that was the story of the day, was Oscar Pareja stepping down, not Kay Rollins, one of the most beloved figures in Orlando City history and a co-founder of the club, stepping down. That got lost in the shuffle that day. So that's why I think there was something weird must have transpired. So just my theory.
Amazing what a win can do, though. Immediately, Orlando City gets their first win of the season, and they are no longer at the bottom of the heap in terms of teams in the Eastern Conference table. They took down CF Montreal, who, from what I understand, was a beatable opponent. Orlando City stacked up well against them, but I'm sure that a little extra smile on the face of Perelman as he is able to lead the charge. His first. We see that a lot in football, especially when a coach is fired and then the interim comes in and you get that initial bump. Hopefully it's more than just 1 week, but I'm thinking that at least had something to do with it here.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I mean, obviously when you have a different voice and things had grown stale, I guess, with Oscar Pareja. I mean, otherwise, why would they have parted ways with him when he'd gone to the playoffs 6 straight years, and they part ways 3 games into a season? Again, weird timing with that as well for a guy who had the longest playoff streak in MLS. I mean, 6 straight years. That's the longest consecutive playoff streak in MLS, and Yeah, to part ways after 3 games. Again, I hate to keep harping on it, but that's weird.
Yeah, very much so. We have gotten word from Orlando City that we are working to correct the connection issues, so we will get Martine on as soon as we possibly can. Some other big news broke today in the NFL. The Denver Broncos have acquired Jalen Waddle from the Miami Dolphins, and the Dolphins are getting the 30th overall pick in the first round of the draft, as well as a 3rd-round pick. They got a 4th-round pick, too, but the Dolphins sent the Broncos a 4th. So essentially a 4th-round pick swap, Jalen Waddle for a 1st-round pick and a 3rd-round pick. Given where Waddle is in terms of his age, his pay, and
he's 27.
Jalen Waddle is not old now, but he will be old by the time you're not going to be able to get him get a 1st-round pick for him. The Dolphins are not going to be good for another couple of seasons, and by that point, then you well, now we could use Jalen Waddle because we're actually trying to be competitive at 29 years old. That's when wide receivers start to age out. So age is not a problem now. Age will be a problem for Jalen Waddle when the Dolphins are actually competitive again. That's the point.
Yeah, getting a 1st-round draft pick for Jalen Waddle, if you're in the situation that the Dolphins are in where you're not going to win this year anyways, you're going to stink, you've deconstructed the team. You brought this up a couple weeks ago. Chris Greer, what a disaster. What a disaster their former GM was.
Terrible. You go down the list of overpaid players that did absolutely nothing for this team when you really get down to it. They had a couple of exciting moments, but never won a playoff game. Calais Campbell, Teron Armstead, Tua, Waddle, Hill, Bradley Chubb, Jalen Ramsey. They had an all-star team, and they did nothing.
Yeah, but it's like he just threw together a bunch of, as you said, a bunch of players. Who cares if they fit with the team concept? Jalen Ramsey had issues wherever he was, whether it be Jacksonville, the Rams, and to bring him into Miami, like he's suddenly going to be a team guy? Same with Tyreek Hill.
It wasn't real team building. It was team building for someone who's playing Madden. This was what it felt like. It was a bunch of big names, but Miami they're always going to be up against it when it comes to culture, because being rich in Miami is a whole lot more entertaining than a lot of other cities in the NFL than being rich in Green Bay, Wisconsin or whatever. So I think you have to go, if you're in Miami, you have to go above and beyond to bring in culture guys, even more so than other football teams, because you're in Miami. That's why you have to get the Zach Thomases and the Jason Taylors of the world onto your team. That's the only way you can be successful, because there's so many distractions in that city, and they went so far in the other direction. It's no wonder why it didn't work out. That and average to below average quarterback play, and voila, here we are, rebuild number 17 in my lifetime.
Hey, real quick, we haven't mentioned this story yet. I wanted to get to it while we're still.
Well, I'm going to break in right now, actually, and we'll save that for another moment, because we have Martine Perlman on the hotline once again. Martine, welcome to the show, and congrats on the first win with Orlando City.
Thank you very much. Hello to you and everyone listening.
How much of a whirlwind has the last week been for you? Did you see this coming at all? And how were you able to react to the news in the moment when you found out you would be the new manager of the team?
Well, it was a transition week. I mean, in the moment, at least myself, and I think everybody, we try not to overthink about it. We just put in a working mode and try to make the transition with the less drama as possible, and working with the commitment we have for this club, this logo, and this team.
Are you able to enjoy that, or is it a mixed bag for you as far as getting this opportunity? I'm sure that this is something that you have strived for, but it comes at the expense of somebody else's job. So how are you able to process that?
No, being honest with you, I mean the way we enjoy this job is particular. I think this is a personal opinion. I mean, the people enjoy in a different way, I think, but we enjoy. Of course, Oscar departure. It wasn't something easy for anybody, not for myself as well. But again, there was no time, and there is no time to think about it too much. We just need to work.
Coach, when you take over a team as a new coach, right in the middle of the season, how much do you change things, like change practice schedules, change schemes, things like that? Do you change things dramatically, or do you just sort of keep things the same? What's your philosophy on that?
Well, that's a great point. I think the behaviors that we have should be taking into account always the context. So in the context that you mentioned, which is grabbing a team in the middle of the week and in the middle of the competition or at the beginning of the competition like we are right now, I think you require a lot of pragmatism and versatility, especially at the beginning, but always, because the game is unpredictable. So being pragmatic and being versatile is crucial always, and at the beginning in these moments even more. That said, of course, myself, the coaching staff, we try to do our job, to little by little start trying to implement those things or those principles that we think are useful for the team. Most of them are equal because I was part of this staff, and some of them not. But that's a process. That's something we do little by little, not from one day to the other. And again, a lot of pragmatism and versatility.
Last question I have for you. When you were the head coach of Orlando City B, I guess most of your job was developing players. How does that differ from being the head coach of the main club?
There's a big difference, because being at the first team, like the only result we really take care in this club is the result of the first team. Of course, we try to develop at this club. We try to develop a winning mentality in all of our teams, even in the academy. But the focus in the first team, not only here but anywhere, should be the result, the productivity, and development. Yes, and for sure we develop people, not only players but people. We develop people here in the professional level, but the commitment is obvious. You need to get results. You need to perform. You need to create the connection with the people, with the fans, with the community, because at the end of the day, the game belongs to the players, but the industry belongs to the fans. So we work for them, and we want them to feel happy. And again, all this I have mentioned is different with the second team, for sure.
I love that line. The game belongs to the players. The industry belongs to the fans. Orlando City interim manager, he is Martin Perlman. He has been kind enough to give us some of his time this afternoon. Thanks so much. Congrats on the new position, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much, and wish you the best.
Coming up next, Florida Gator basketball back in the NCAA tournament, looking to defend the crown as a 1 seed. Are Gator fans appreciating it properly? We'll get to that angle right after this.